Happy Saturday, man. I'm glad. I am glad it's Saturday.
Yes, it's finally Saturday.
It's about time. How was your week?
It was long, but it was good.
I know mine was pretty long, but I think next week is Indigenous Day, so at least we get like a 4-day.
It's on Monday, next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But okay. Thank y'all for joining Bar Table Talk. So, welcome. So today we have a good discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Go and give it to us. Shy.
Yes, hi, I'm Shy, and we will be talking about and having an honest conversation about boundaries. Boundaries in basically all areas of your life. Boundaries are important, and sadly, a lot of us do not have them.
Mm-hmm. No, that is true. We don't. So today we're diving into something a lot of us struggles with. Why boundaries matter and how to actually set them without feeling guilty.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, the guilt part. It hits hard. I used to feel like saying no was really hard because I am very much a people pleaser, and it was really bad in my younger days. And so saying no was always hard because I feared someone not liking me or something. So it was just really hard to say no to people.
Same here. I used to say yes to everything, thinking I was being, helpful, but deep down I was burning myself out. I've learned that boundaries ain't about, you know, shitting on people, shutting people out. They're about taking care of yourself first. So you can show up a little bit of empathy, just a tad bit for others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like setting the boundary is just the first part, but the hardest part about boundaries is keeping them, sticking to them when people push back. I can be like, okay, this is my boundary.
Yeah.
Like for example, we have one boundary, like Sunday, we try to rest and relax, do minimal things. And I feel like I like that, because we have to protect our peace, and that's part of protecting peace. Having some downtime is important to me. Or telling people like, hey, don't call me after 10, and then people call you after 10.
Now you got iPhones that do not disturb.
Yeah, they do not disturb. You can set up your do not disturb, or you can just not answer the phone after 10. And if they get upset, they shouldn't, because you told them not to call you after 10. But it's stuff like that where people push it to see if you'll actually just do it anyway.
Answer the damn phone.
So then your boundary just crumbles, and it's no longer a boundary.
No, I feel you. So here's what we're going to talk about today: how to recognize when your boundaries are being crossed. Why that wave of guilt shows up when you start saying no, and a few samples, ways to communicate boundaries clearly without feeling like the bad guy.
Yeah, I think being clear about the boundaries is very important as well, because I feel like we're in an era of, I don't want it to sound too mean, and I don't want it. And so then what you do is you make it sound unclear, and then they have no idea what you were meaning because you just implied it instead of just straight out saying what the boundary really is.
Exactly. I think what people get kind of wrong at is when they get in a relationship and they do not, yes, you're dating But even though you dating that person, that person still need to know your boundaries. And I feel like nowadays in a relationship, they don't establish that in the beginning. They be like, oh, well, I didn't know about you. Well, did you actually sit down and talk and have a conversation and say, you know what, these are my do's and my don'ts. And I see that in the show we watch, Secret Life, and stuff like that. I noticed that they do not set their boundaries, and the person is already crossing them, but secretly, like already crossing your boundaries. And I feel like with me, as I grew up, I also had to find my boundaries. And I think I'm glad I had to, going through life, I actually make that a priority. You know what? I need to find my boundaries, because now I'm feeling like I'm getting easily disrespected,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that I didn't figure out how to set boundaries until I started going to.
You gotta push that mic close, girl.
Until I started going to therapy.
Okay.
And my therapist told me about boundaries, and I was like, wow, this is definitely something I was not doing in my life. So it was definitely helpful.
While you was in therapy, what made you realize, like, oh, like, what did she tell you to make you realize, like, oh, wait, I don't have boundaries? Is it the stories that you was telling your therapist?
So when I went into therapy, long story short, I was having probably like 4 or 5 panic attacks a month. And they were like, that's not healthy. I don't think people realize that when you have serious, like, there's different types of panic attacks, but I was having the ones where, like, my chest was hurting. Yeah. My hands would cramp up, and I would black out.
Oh, okay.
And basically, it was affecting my heart. And so you think about something affecting your heart and your body like that, and you're having them on a regular basis, you're on your way to a heart attack or a stroke. So she was saying that, okay, so your people-pleasing personality is causing you to have some extreme anxiety. Okay. And where it starts is in my mind. One, I'm so afraid to say no and for people to like me that I'm stressing out trying to figure out how I can comply to what they want. Exactly. So let's elaborate a little bit. So you saying that is it because you was a people pleaser and you didn't want to see them? Was a people pleaser. You didn't want to see them mad at you. Didn't want anyone mad at me. So because of that, the fear kind of entered. Okay. Because we two different people. I'm just like, okay, I don't care. Exactly. I feel like I've adapted that now that I'm in my 40s, but before, in my 20s and 30s, no. I was always saying yes. All the time. Yeah. Like, even and then I was stressing out trying to figure out how I was going to do everything that other people were telling me to do. And yet my own life was like falling apart. But then they call you because they know you're going to be there. They know I'm going to do it. So I was regularly asked to do things because they know that, yeah, I'll do it. Wow. Okay. No, I was very unaware, but I'm glad you sharing that. Yeah. So I allowed that. I allowed that to happen. But you know what? At least you realize it's not the other person's fault. No, it was me. So yeah, you acknowledge that. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Some people nowadays do not take responsibilities of their actions, but. All right, let's start with recognizing the signs. For me, it's usually that guilt feeling, like my body knows before my brain catches up. If I agree to something and instantly feel uneasy, that's a red flag. So what's your technically your red flags? I think that I have become more aware of my intuition and having like gut feelings, right? Yeah. When I feel good about something, I'm immediately excited and just like, yeah, or I'm like, that sounds reasonable. But when, say, for example, someone is like, okay, well, I would like you to bring the chicken, the potato salad, and can you also make some hot water cornbread to the party that we're having? And they're like, and just make sure that you get there on time, or no, get there 2 hours early. I also need you to set up everything. They're telling me this also the night before, right? This is happened, right? Oh. So not this. I'm just. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, who did this? The similar scenarios happen. So one, you didn't give me enough time. Yeah. I have to make almost all the food for this event, plus decorate and get there early. I'm feeling stressed. Yes. That right there. And you technically doing everything. Yeah, that feeling of stress and also feeling like, wait a minute, if I'm doing everything, then what is everybody else doing? Sitting on their ass. Why is nobody else helping me? Sitting on their butt. So then I'm like, that is a situation. If I'm feeling like that, like this is looking very lopsided and I'm doing all the work, then the answer to that request should be an automatic no. Oh, they had me, excuse my language, fucked up when they said hot water cornbread. No, I'm not cooking that. I love hot water cornbread. I don't care if you love hot water cornbread. I'm smart. I would have went over my grandma's house and I was like, Grandma, you know what? You haven't made hot water cornbread. She's like, girl, you know what? I haven't made that in a long time. I said, Grandma, I can get the ingredients. She's like, I probably already have it. Grandchild, I'll be like, I get you some hot water cornbread and I'm taking that to go. Yeah. I'm going to take it to that place that I'm going to go to and I'm like, here go your hot water cornbread. Exactly. Like, the basic thing is if someone's asking me something that seems like they're not considering my well-being in this request, then the answer is no. Exactly. They are definitely crossing a boundary. It's like that little, inner voice that saying, I feel like my inside voice always says no. Or no, for real, like, if my inside voice was a person, all it would be saying is hell no. No, we ain't doing that. No. I'm sorry, I ain't got time for that. No one has the time. Exactly. Right. So, right. And the truth is saying no isn't mean. It's honest. And honestly builds stronger, healthy relationship in the long run, which is true. I feel like I think when you say no to another person, like, when you say no to me, I'm just like, oh, really? Damn, okay, I gotta go do it myself. Like, no, like, it's not bad that I'm saying no. I'm saying no because either I don't got the time or I'm looking at you like, you can do that yourself. No, you need to preach that because, like, you have to, and I say this all the time, like, this is teaching people how to treat you. Yes. When you allow them to constantly step over your boundaries, then you're telling them that it's okay to take advantage of me, to use me, and don't worry, I'll figure out, how to pull myself up. Don't worry about it. Like, no. You need to teach people to respect your time, respect your time, respect you and your boundaries. Like, if you're telling me the night before that you need X, Y, and Z, okay, first of all, the person asking you, that was their responsibility to get this shit done before the last minute. If they didn't get that done, then that's on them. You don't have to agree to it. You can say, I'm sorry, but no. I'm bringing one bottle. You better pay for someone to cater that shit. If you need all that much. I'm sorry, Skittles, I'm bringing one bottle. You better call DoorDash. Right, I'm bringing one bottle, and then if you tell me to cook one thing, I'm bringing that one thing to cook. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to cook a full-blown meal for this party that I'm supposed to be enjoying myself at, and you over here making me do all the work. Now you crossing the line. No, I'm gonna be like, I'm setting these boundaries as a friend. Yes. I'm not gonna do that, girl. Or you can tell them what you can do and what you cannot do. What I can do is I'll help you set up the decorations and come early. What I cannot do is cook all this food for you also.
Oh, nobody ain't cooking all that soul food.
No, that takes time.
I'm sorry. Nowadays we got soul food restaurants, but
yeah,
you just gotta pick. You gotta pick a good one.
DoorDash it.
You know what? Don't say DoorDash because they ain't sponsoring us. When they sponsor us, that's when we gonna be like DoorDash.
Call and get it delivered. However,
right. Because they ain't sponsoring this.
No.
If they do, I'm gonna be like, get 10% off.
Call and get the food delivered. Whatever happened, why it's last minute, you're just gonna have to pay for it.
Exactly. I think in all relationships, friendships, even work, because I can say at work it's a little different because people be like, "Oh, can you do me a favor?" And when they say that, you know what I say? It depends on that favor.
It really depends. If it's something that can easily be done, then I don't mind.
Yes.
But if it's something that's gonna take really hard time and energy,
I ain't doing nothing on my job description that I ain't getting paid for. And that's how you do work. Because if they be like, "Oh, can you do a favor?" and they know that you did that favor with no issues, no problems, they gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, Skittles would do it. No, Skittles won't." With my job description, and I know my job description. What my job description say, it don't say that. I'm gonna be like, don't y'all got somebody in this field to do that? Like, when it comes to the job, I feel like the job is a little bit different because if you give, they just gonna take. You feel me?
That is true.
So, but in a friendship type of thing, in a relationship, I feel like they're almost the same because if I'm saying, these are my boundaries, this, and this, and this, and this, and then I also tell that friend, like, okay, just in a friend way, not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, these are my boundaries, this, and this, and this, and this. Because I didn't see some friends that I'd be like, how are you friends with this person?
Yeah.
Like, you doing everything. Like, you over there picking her up, dropping her off at work. She not giving you no gas, no nothing. And I'm just like, at least when you pick somebody up, at least get them $20 of gas. Shit, gas is like $4.59. Yeah. And I'm like, I got a Honda Civic, like in a motorcycle. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah,
so
nice too.
In a friendship, I feel like nowadays people is so sensitive, just so sensitive. When you tell them no, then they stop talking to you.
Yeah, but it's like if the friend doesn't want to respect your boundaries, then that's not a good friend. And I think I've also learned that.
True.
True. Like the friends that I do have are definitely 100% friends who respect my boundaries. Unfortunately, that leaves only like 2 to 3 people.
Oh, girl. That leaves about I probably have like 5 that knows that, if some stuff pop off, I'll be there. But, and they also know that.
And vice versa.
Yes. You know what? You have to think about that. Now I'm picturing all my friends. If some pop off with me, I know they'd be there. I know they'd be there.
Because then that is a true friend. Not just a friend who you will be there for, but who will also be there for you. And
I agree on that. So, yeah, I can count about five of them that would, that knows my boundaries, and they'd be like, oh, they don't tell me what to bring. They know I'm gonna come with some Hennessy. They be like, oh, Chinese, yeah, we're gonna invite Chinese. But, we already know she's going to come with something to see. And that's all she's going to bring. That's all I'm going to bring because it's expensive.
Yeah, if it's like a serious thing, like if someone called me and just like, I'm in jail, I need you to like do something for me, like I'm gonna be like, okay, like tell me what you need.
Yeah, do I need to go put some money on your books?
Yeah, or do I need to like go call your parents for you?
Or do I need to put on a black ski mask and drag a bitch? Do I need to do that? Like, because we can do it all. Like,
people joke about like the friend that'll help you hide a body.
Hey. You know what? I don't joke about that no more because I don't joke around that because I actually work in a lab and I'm just like, I have the material.
No, but
I know what you're saying.
It's like the extent of basically a friend who's like no questions asked, I got you.
Yes,
that's a really really great friend.
And then I understand other people go through life, you never know what they're doing in their life. If they don't tell you, they don't tell you because it's something that they don't want to be a knowledge or just, a conversation.
And I just respect that. If your friend is asking for space, then I'm going to give it to them.
Boundary.
And then I'll just check in because they know I'm going to check in.
And I think a lot of people do not check in.
Yeah.
Like, hey, girl, you all right? I know, it is that. In 2025, no one checks in on people.
No, and I'm definitely someone.
I mean, I check. Like my niece, she checks in. Yeah. I know how my little sister is. You know, probably a month or two go past, but she'll check in. I'll check in on her and the kids.
Yeah, just check in.
My grandma, I check in on my grandma. Yeah. I'll call my auntie to be like, oh, my grandma not answering the phone, but at least I know my auntie answered. That's checking in.
Yeah, just make sure everybody's
right. That's it. I just feel like we forgot about that. Just text a person and just be like, hey, how you doing today? Mm-hmm. Because that one word, can save a life.
You never know what somebody could be going through. You just gotta check in and allow them the opportunity to let you in or not.
And but I tell everybody, like, I'm a good listener. You can vent for me for that. Mm-hmm. Like, take my ear. If you want to sit there and talk. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I feel like boundaries in a relationship is, great, because if I tell you, like, let's throw this out there because we be watching a lot of these cheating shows, and I say, oh, I don't want no threesome, and you're just like, oh, well, I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay, you just crossed my boundary.
That's why, I feel like the Maybe and Whitney situation.
Oh my goodness.
And it's definitely a situation about boundaries.
Oh no, that's
about not having.
That's a full boundaries. Situation about boundaries.
About not having them.
And then you married on top of that. You married on top of that. Let's be honest. However you do your marriage, I don't care if it's the government way or y'all did a commitment ceremony, whatever. You're still married.
Yeah.
So and if you be like, oh, I'm not talking to her today, but at the end of the day, that's still your wife. So you go over here and you go cheat with your ex-husband, but you married to her. Oh, boundaries just crossed.
Let's back it up and let's talk about the boundaries that were said. That were said were publicly on social media.
Yeah.
Like, because I believe that Whitney, was it Whitney or Maybe that did not want to be in a polyamorous relationship?
In the beginning, Maybe did say she wasn't in a poly relationship.
She didn't want
to be one. But and then I knew of Whitney never being in one. So I was just like, oh, okay.
So then they both didn't want to be in one. But Maybe was in one.
Maybe always been in a poly relationship.
So right there, her boundary was, I don't want to be in a polyamorous relationship.
Again.
But she didn't stick to it.
No.
So then she became entangled in a polyamorous relationship. So
but she sat there and said that she didn't want Whitney there. So she still allowed her wife to still cross her boundaries, because that was, let's be honest, that was her boundary.
If that was a boundary, it should have stayed.
It should have stayed a boundary. And if your wife couldn't understand that, then that's a conversation that y'all need to have it, because you should have, before they even got married, she said that. Mm-hmm. So if Whitney wanted a poly relationship, okay, well, I would have sat down and had a conversation with you. Well, this was my boundary before you married me. So if this is a breaker, then I'm sorry, we're gonna have to get a divorce, or you're gonna have to go your separate ways, because that's what you want, and that's not what I want.
So then here's the thing that I find interesting is that now they're in a polyamorous relationship.
Oh, girl, no, that girl. Okay. Let me update you.
Let me just finish my part. So now they're supposedly in a polyamorous relationship. The person who's benefiting from it is Maybe, Whitney is not.
And I think so no, you're correct. Whitney is not, and I think they just had their anniversary too. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing. I think Maybay didn't realize how Whitney was because they jumped in it too fast. Yes. And if I'm sorry if there's a lot of studs out there that is a touch me not, and she's not a touch me not. But maybe you like to be all over your girl.
Yes. So then why would you accept?
Why would you accept a touch me not?
There's another boundary.
Thank you.
If you are a physically affectionate person, right? Mm-hmm. If you look, there's the 5 love languages. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about that.
Everybody.
One of the love languages is physical touch, right? Mm-hmm. If that's one of your love languages, why would you get with someone who right there has a wall saying, "Yeah, I don't do that." Right. So then right there, like, okay, so when it comes to this physical touch stuff, I can't do that with her.
Yeah, and I feel like they just keep jumping over each other's boundaries. Yeah. Like, oh, I didn't want this, but now this, maybe he's doing it. Oh, well, I didn't want that. So like you said, she is benefiting because she wants to be all over a feminine wise girl, not a touch me not.
Yeah, so now she's getting that love language met with someone else,
which is her girlfriend.
But in order to do that, she had to break the boundary of the polyamorous. This is but now Whitney is looking like she's not okay with it, but I don't know if that's been said, but she literally does not look happy with it.
No, she didn't, because I think somebody stated on the show, and then they did see her cry a little bit. Like, they did see her cry a little bit. But everybody be like, oh, she was drinking. It don't matter if you're drinking or not. Whatever you feel inside is going to come out if you had a drink or you didn't have a drink. And if you're not okay with that situation, her having a girlfriend and you not being the person fully for her, I would never got in that relationship, because let's say I am a touch me not. Mm-hmm. You want somebody like that. I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to be with you.
Exactly.
Because then we're going to get in this relationship and it's going to be double dutch. You're going over my boundaries and I'm going over yours. Yeah, just a double dutch. I was about to double dutch.
Exactly. And ultimately, when people's boundaries are constantly being like walked over, then that is, your boundaries help protect your peace, right? If this is like my boundary and my peace is on this side and you're constantly like, then my peace is just getting beat all up and I have no peace.
Exactly.
But you need your peace in order to have, to be all right.
No, exactly. And I think people don't understand that when, like, I was talking to my little sister about, our peace. And she was telling me, like, just do you. Don't let nobody interfere with you and Shy peace. And I was just like, you know what? She makes a lot of sense, because I was just like, because sometimes I am a doer. Like, I feel a little bit bad about certain situations. So I'll be like, oh, yeah, come over here, do this. And then when I tell people to come over here, it doesn't end the way. But then I didn't make that. I didn't state my boundaries. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it kind of spoured and went the way it went. Mm-hmm. But then again, they didn't fucking tell me. But anyways, that's a whole other story.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, with us being in a relationship, not only do I need to protect my own personal peace and my own personal boundaries, but in our relationship together we have boundaries that protect the peace in our relationship. And I think some people don't realize that. And that's why the Maybe Whitney situation is a great example, because together they didn't even protect the peace in their relationship.
I feel like
nor did they do it for themselves.
And then you gotta understand, you're always live. Like, it's okay. She's been doing it for, to be honest, I've been watching Maybay for a long time, and I think Whitney is a slight, like, 2 years younger than me. And I understand, she wants to be married. She wants to, have this, this nice house. And I understand that, and then I also stand when you understand this, when you get what you always wanted, which is a wife, a house, you're happy in your relationship. You do not want to break that because you don't know mentally if you're going to get it back. Yeah. And I feel like that's why she holds on to what she has. But I'm saying that it's, sometimes it's okay because that might not be your person. It's okay to break it.
And that's okay. You're going to meet different types of people in your life, and not everyone is for you, and that's okay.
Right. And I feel like both of them allowed each other to break the boundaries. And now, now they have to wrangle it in and just like, okay, well, this is what I want. Do you accept what I want and what I don't want? And if the person don't agree with there's terms, and I can't do this then. And I think she just wants to be in a relationship because come on now, that's all I see. And I'm just like, I understand where she's coming from, but if that's not if that person keeps breaking your boundaries and you didn't want that, you didn't want her to have a girlfriend, then exactly, it's not beneficial to you because it's causing you harm. It's messing up your peace.
Now your well-being is off.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, God. And I watch it, shout out to Feminine Fields because she be having all the tea.
She be telling the tea, for sure.
And then she be having like receipts, and I be like,
yeah. And again, like we're not bashing them.
No. But it's a good example of boundaries.
It's a good example though with our talking about boundaries. Yes. An example that we're using that's on social media that people can see, like this really is something you can learn some do's and don'ts from a lot of these things.
Well, a lot of these social medias, influence, you could just sit there and just watch, and I think that's why I watch it because I'll be like, of course you love a little drama, of course, but I'm just like, damn, that's so sad. I feel for that person because I got my boundaries. Yeah, no, because they are, and I got my boundaries crossed, in my younger age, and that made me angry. Yeah, and I'm just like, dang, like this is your whole wife that's out with her girlfriend on your anniversary.
And you're home alone.
And you're home, but you had to go back home to Texas because you had to work. No, your wife should have went with you. Yeah. And when you got off, you should have had a full course meal. Like, I'm just saying.
It's just kind of, it's sad. But I mean, again, like, boundaries, they're important as whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, you need to have boundaries. And that's why it was really great I was recommended to read this book called Boundaries by Dr. Cloud and Dr. Townsend. The book is just straight called Boundaries.
What you learned, what did they teach you about?
The importance. The importance of having boundaries. And they even have another book on boundaries in marriage because, that's a whole other topic. But just in general, this is before I was even in a relationship because my issue was literally just with like friendships and the people in my environment. And it was really good to read that and see like the importance of boundaries and how not having boundaries negatively affected me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I learned them young. I had to learn it real fast because I was not growing up real fast. I had to learn it with I think with my family, it took me a long time to establish those boundaries with my family. But throughout my life, in relationships, I think because I got in a relationship in my early 20s, I kind of established my boundaries and what I want. For myself and life, and what I look for in in a person as well. So if this conversation hits home for you, remember, setting boundaries is a skill. It takes practice, patience, and a lot of self. Go for it, Shay.
Yeah, and I think that definitely, catch us later. We're definitely gonna be here, but also just remember, take this away is your peace matters, and you need to protect it.
Yes. Another end of the show.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Thank you, guys.
If you enjoyed this episode, hit follow and share. Bar Table Talk with us. Come in. Sometimes you can call us. Like if you want to call us. Yeah. Get on. You can get on this mic too.
Positive vibes only.
Yes. Positive vibes only. Good energy.
Good energy. That's what we're cultivating here.
Oh well, we'll catch us next time. Actually, it's October. We got Halloween, and I think in October is it breast cancer? Is October breast cancer?
I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure, but we're definitely gonna be back with some good topics.
Oh yeah, of course. We be wilding, but I love sitting here every day, actually having a discussion with you.
Life be lifing.
Oh, girl.
Okay. We gotta talk about it. Kind of help each other.
Right. We trying to help everybody come over here to the bar table talk. Drink a little bit, talk a little bit. But thank y'all for watching us. We here every Saturday.
Yeah.
See y'all later.